One's a blonde, one's a brunette. You put them together, what do you get? Amanda and Emily. It's a show about nothing at all. Amanda and Emily. Come join us and you'll have a ball.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Amanda and Emily. We have a podcast. I'm Amanda. And Emily's sure. Well, hey!
You guys.
It's okay. You know what? You're sitting in your beautiful office that definitely is real. So many plants.
Thank you. I grew them on myself. Apparently, you can appropriate new plants from a leaf of an old plant. I'll tell you something right now that I'm realizing about myself. The Wi-Fi situation in these live streams wants to give me poopacakas in my tummy.
Okay, well, you know what? The fact of the matter is, Emily, we're back, baby!
Don't do anything because we are back and you didn't even know that we were gone. Who cares?
Well, you know what I like? I like the fact that we just get here, and this is our first comment from Chrissy. She says, I love these people. I go to their podcast.
Also,
no, unclear, honestly.
Also, these people.
Just these people. My mom, to be fair, who's probably watching right now, shout out to Kathy, says that she can't go to sleep to our podcast because she laughs too hard. Something she has told me before.
I will say that I had a young man ask me about which episode to listen to of our podcast. He said, a young man. A young comedic man. I'm interested in finding out about your podcast. Which episode should I listen to? And I told him one, and then I listened along, and then I told him what parts I thought were funny, and then he was like, I'm not going to listen to this all right now.
You really thought he was jumping in hard, and you did a little too. You were too strong, is what happened.
I wanted him to.
You thought, what should I listen to right now, not at some point in the future?
Because this episode's hilarious, and then 10 minutes later, I said, "Oh, the next part's hilarious. So funny. Wait till you hear.
Wait till you hear me say it. Wait till you hear. Well, we're thrilled to be back. Gotta say, Emily, great to see all your plants and that you're into plants now. But if you don't know, I'm Amanda. Nope.
And I'm Emily.
That's Emily. We are improvisers and performers at Sac Comedy Lab. We've got a podcast called Amanda and Emily. We have a podcast. You might know that because you're here. But if you don't know that and you just found out, great, we have one. In fact, behind me, that's a poster that I recently hung up of our. Oh, Emily, look at your house is beautiful.
I moved rooms.
Oh God, this is Zoom culture is what we're doing.
I'm like somebody's aunt with all these tricks that I've got now.
That's exactly what it is. Well, we've already jumped in, but Emily, I think we should probably. It's been a minute, so why don't we go ahead and catch up?
I'm just delighting at the stuff that you made.
Well, you're someone's aunt, and I'm glad you're here. Emily, besides plants, what have you been up to?
I'll tell you what, watching a lot of programs.
Oh, well, you got to watch the programs.
I'm at home with my mom. I'm not going to get into it, but I've been quarantining with my mother, Janet, for the past 6 months. Mm-hmm. Boy. And so it leads me to, a 73-year-old lady. What does she like to do the most?
Watch
programs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I've been watching a lot, and there's just one thing I'd like to talk about, and that's soap operas. Now, soap operas are one of the things that are filmed pretty readily because the story, they're on every day. The storylines move pretty quick because they are on every single day. My mother watches 2. She watches The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful. And now,
yes,
so do I.
Oh.
And now there's been a whole big cattywampus with the pandemic because the people can't touch each other, but they still need to keep. They need to keep going. So the other day, you know what they did, Amanda? You know what they did?
Tell me.
It was a kiss scene. And the man came up and he was like going in for the kiss, but they can't touch, right? So he was going in for the kiss and the lady was standing there. Amanda, they put a mannequin in. he was kissing a mannequin and you can tell that the body was like.
Was mannequin like. Wow.
something that I've been up to. What have you been up to?
Oh boy, Emily, have I been doing a lot of nothing? Not a ton going on for me. Still home a whole lot. Janet's, those are your Janet stories, of course. I will say that I forced my home into fall, and I really put a lot of fake pumpkins around the house in all different sorts of shapes and sizes. Something came over me. The other day I asked my husband, I said, Tim, from where you're sitting, how many pumpkins can you see? The number was 18.
No.
That's too many.
I thought you were going to say 8, and even then I was going to say no.
18. And sometimes some of them are small, some of them big, some of them light up. It's a lot. It's a lot that's happening.
I didn't know you were one of those.
I wasn't. And then quarantine happened, and I think I just wanted to feel like time was passing. And so that's what I did to make it happen. Well, 17 shipment. Thank you. I agree. There's too many.
I agree too. Are any of those pumpkins real?
Not yet. We're going to probably get some more for carving and fun. The seasons. Aren't they nice?
How are you about the carving? Do you like it?
No, but I do. Do you like it?
No.
It's so mushy and no.
Flippin' nightmare. Yeah. I went to a friend of ours, mutual friend, fan of the show, Robbie Pygott, favorite, favorite. He has a pumpkin carving party every year. I went to it last year, and it gave me anxiety.
Well, that's fair enough. Something else to know, and this is for listeners of the podcast, you know that we often visit a little, my husband, 19, if I lean, okay, he can, all right. Fans of the podcast know that we occasionally dip into the website, thestir.cafe mom. Get a lot of our mom tips on that website, a lot of information. And you know what? I was like, we haven't been to the stir. We haven't done a stir in a while. And so I went to the website today and I typed in one of the quizzes and, and it came up on Google and I clicked the link.
Also, is that the image? Is that the image that's like universally used for a website that no longer exists? Is it always that child peeking through a closet full of
the stir trying to be like, we like children and parenting. Look, it's a little kid. He's just hiding in a coat, like our website parts. So,
but they're not keeping up.
They're not keeping up, and I think they maybe removed all of their quizzes. So, don't know if we're going to be visiting the stir too often anymore. It's pretty upsetting.
That is, fans of the stir are going to be
livid. How are we going to find out quizzes and answers to questions like, is your husband cheating on you?
Is your husband gay?
What kind of bad friend are you? You know, just how many kids should you have? You know,
what is your kids poo-poo saying about them?
Yeah, you know, things that we really had an appropriate reason to be involved in. Now it's gone. It's lost. It's lost forever. So that's my biggest news. So that's it. Emily, anything else to catch up on, or should we?
I'm just going to throw this out there, and nobody even has to hear anything else about it or talk anything else about it. But I did realize during the quarantine, something I already knew, which was that I'll never have kids. I'm fine with it. But I did realize that I'm annoyed by anyone that I've known that has had a kid.
Yes, I believe
it does seem like so much work.
Emily, you've had this opinion before, and we've talked about this on the podcast, that as a childless person, it's not cool to have opinions like that. You can inside, but outside, maybe not as much.
Well, you know what? Pandemic, schmandemic, you know, and now Robin is saying, gee, thanks. I'm not, listen, I'm not saying that it's okay that I feel that way. It makes me kind of a jerkhead. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to hear us going on and on about us.
There's reasons you tuned in tonight.
There's probably a reason that all of you tuned in.
Yeah, we couldn't be the reason you tuned in.
Certainly not us.
Because of our hot guest lineup this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I can't wait even one more second. We need to bring in our first guest.
Yes.
I mean, she's representative of District 47, but you already knew that, okay? She's the first Iranian American in Florida legislation ever. I mean, but you already knew that. And she's apparently the only person that knows anything about Florida unemployment, including the people involved with Florida unemployment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Anna Eskamani.
Hi, everyone. Is this another unemployment session? Are we going to be?
No.
Oh, no. I misunderstood my assignment. So many questions. Although, in true, real, full disclosure, I am one of those people that is on unemployment right now. And if I have questions, the first thing I do, I go to Anna Eskamani's Twitter. Not a joke.
And Anna, I was talking to somebody the other day. There's been 3 different people I've had conversations with, and they're like, "Well, I just go look at Anna Eskamani's Twitter account, and I just watch the Friday office hour so that I can understand."
So, I mean, that it's sweet, but it's also tragic, isn't it? Because, like y'all said, we shouldn't be here. Like, these systems should work. The fact that we have to like pull our hair out and like fight for answers is ridiculous.
Yeah, but we are so grateful to have somebody like you, not only just that exists, but is a great representative of our state, which, is not always the case. So incredible, is just so wonderful for us. So we are thrilled to have you here. And oh my goodness, already in the comments, what's happening?
All right, Anna, see you guys later.
Anna's got a big announcement. No.
Yeah, this is the announcement, Amanda.
You're like, I'm gonna go. They have 52 viewers. I'm gonna do a special appearance on this podcast live stream that literally no one talks about.
Oh my God, stop. Y'all are so popular. Please give yourselves more credit. We all miss SAC. We all miss the shows.
That's true. You know what, Anna? You're right.
Anna, you've done a couple of shows yourself on backstage.
Yeah, I have. I mean, it's always like, I don't know if y'all know this, but I did tentacle theater in high school. So I am a thespian. We were troop 4848. I was
4276.
No way!
Yeah. Wait, what high school did you go to?
I went to University High School.
Oh.
On the east side of town. Yeah, we actually now have a magnet theater program. But so I was a techie. So I was wearing my blocks. I was backstage. So I know it feels funny to say it because obviously as elected official, like you have to talk a lot in public. But seriously, I was very used to just kind of being behind the scenes, like crisis management for my actors and actresses, and doing all that kind of stuff. So. But it's
you're natural. You must have been watching all those dumb actresses at the time and thought, I could do better.
I could wipe the floor.
No, those are some of my best friends to this day. And so, yeah, super blessed. I recognize the techies when something goes wrong. So that's also...
It's true. And I will say, since we've been doing live streams for SAC Comedy Lab over the past 6 months, I've had to be teching things a lot, and I'm dreadful. And I have so much more respect for the people behind the scenes.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I remember the first time I ever laid eyes on you. It was during a cringe show at SAC, and you came out on stage and you were reading from like a diary you had made.
Yeah, I still have. Wait, it's right here.
It's on hand.
Wait, hold on.
What room are you in?
Was it this one?
Yeah.
What is the thing on the cover?
My memory book.
I know, but are you wrapped in a sleeping bag?
What's happening? Are you okay?
It's also like a yellow baby. I watched a lot of Simpsons when I was a kid and played with Legos. So I think I thought humans only came in one color.
Only in one color. That's how they come. They're manufactured. And then
I know, but I read a part of this though, right?
Yes. So I was just I remember watching it with Emily and just being like, who is this for? And she was like, oh, she's gonna be like a big time for government, and we just fell in love with you. And so then we invited you, and you graciously joined us on our
I remember
lived talk show tonight.
I remember
a huge star. Emily's now in the sky. And that was like a little bit, maybe like it was October of 2017, right? I think it was October of 2017.
Yeah, I think so. It was a while ago.
And then you were elected in November of 2018?
You got it.
Do you feel like maybe you're welcome? I
think I got the Amanda and Emily bump.
That was it. It was the Amanda, and we've been waiting, and honestly, that's why we brought you on.
Oh, you wanted me to formally thank you?
Yes, I'm recording.
Yes.
Oh, everything to you too. I don't know what I would have done without it. Seriously.
Well, when you're a governor and all that stuff, we're just gonna be like, guys, she was reading her memory book to us, and that's where it all started. So,
listen,
memories.
Listen, Anna, I've noticed of late that you've been bebopping around town. You're up, you're down. You're doing things nonstop. I don't know how you keep up. I'm serious. I really don't know how you keep up. You've been here, you've been there, everywhere. I've just got a question for you. Anna, I want you to play a little game, and that game is called, Anna, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
So, Anna, we have a collection of images of you.
I am getting so warm right now.
It's very easy. It's very easy. There's no wrong answer. Remember, it's improv. Yes, and so I'm just going to show you an image, and you're going to try to say maybe where and what you were doing at that time.
Okay, here for it.
all right, great. We're going to kick you off here.
All right, so I'm on the House floor during a debate of an anti-abortion bill, and a Democrat is speaking in support of this bill. A Democratic man is speaking in support of this bill.
Wow.
Okay.
That sounds fairly contentious.
Yeah. It's actually not what you're doing, though. You are actually really having it out with Audrey, too.
Yeah. So it's weird you didn't remember this.
Oh my God, I'm dying. I must have just erased it from my memory, honestly.
It sounds like it, but honestly, you could get those two things confused, I'd say. Pretty easy. Yeah, okay.
What about now here, Anna? Exactly, what are you doing here?
So I am jumping over fire, which is a part of the Persian New Year, Nowruz. On the last Tuesday of the year, Chahar Shemasari, we jump over fire. We're giving the fire our yellow, our sickness, and we're taking its red, its heat, its energy.
Wow. Wait, do you do that every
year since I was like 5 years old?
I was a badass before. Now I don't over fire.
I mean, this kind of pales in comparison because of what we actually think that you were doing was defeating the Night King.
But yours is way more badass.
Yours is better. So what about this, Anna? What are you doing? What are you doing?
So if I remember correctly, I'm in Winter Park, and I am standing with Representative Joy Goff Marcel. She represents the seat right next to me in Maitland, and we both flipped State House seats in 2018.
Nice.
Oh, well, that's very fun. You know, it's sad because as I made these, I thought how much, I thought maybe these would be mundane things. And then I thought the things that we were adding were funnier, but
these are.
No. Yes! Oh my God, you are staying into my 90s childhood.
You are a twin, correct?
I am a twin, yes.
I do remember that I went to one of your events and I walked right up to your sister and was like, hey! And then she politely walked me over to you.
Yep.
Just a couple more, Anna, and we'll move quickly here. What are you doing here?
Oh my God, I don't remember what I'm doing here. I mean, I'm like on the microphone at maybe it was our office opening.
Or maybe you were revealing.
Maybe it was when you were revealed as the Masked Singer,
What?
So
How did you know? That was supposed to be a secret.
I think you need to be getting a better handle on what you've been up to. And just one last. Now, Anna, what were you doing here?
I was preparing for a debate on the House floor in my office in Tallahassee.
I mean,
it's close.
pretty close.
You were actually preparing for your debut in Hamilton. Is what we're doing.
Oh my God! You know what? They canceled that version of the show because of COVID.
It's such a bummer. You would have been incredible.
It would have been an amazing Aaron Burr.
Okay, good. Emily knows a little bit about it, so that was great. That was great. Anna, you are such a great sport. Thank you so much for being here. We absolutely adore you, and thank you so much, genuinely. Not just me. There's people in the comments that are all saying wonderful about you and how things you've done. Anna and her team are incredible. As a gig worker, I was denied unemployment at first, but your team worked with me directly to get it fixed. And that is just in our small audience. That is me, Jess, and other folks as well. You are making such an unbelievable difference, and we just adore you so much.
What is the one thing that you want everybody to know? I mean, happy Rosh Hashanah. What's the one thing?
Yes. Happy Rosh Hashanah. Happy New Year to those celebrating. And please vote and do the census. Fill out the U.S. Census and please vote. Those are the two biggest things everyone can do to make a difference right now.
And if you want to donate to Anna's campaign, if you want to find out more about Anna, find out about her ridiculous new friendship with Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah.
You can find out all of that information on her Twitter as well as AnnaForFlorida.com.
Onward with Anna!
We adore you, Anna.
Thanks, y'all. Adore you too. I want to come back. Please let me know.
Anytime, girl. Anytime. Good luck.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
You know, Amanda, I was so nervous, and I forget how like personable she is and how amazing she is, and all I wanted to do is just like talk more.
She's the greatest. She's the greatest. Rob says, thank you, Anna, for being more dedicated than our governor to helping us. I waited for her to leave because I don't want her to get involved in this mess. Us trash talking stuff going on. She doesn't need to get involved in that dirt, but seriously, she's the greatest. And what Emily's metal band approves, and so does everybody in our comments. What a joy that she even came to our small program. What a day. Emily, as we move forward into our program, we've got some stuff to talk about. We've got maybe an upcoming guest soon. I don't know. But Emily, there is a segment that we have yet to touch upon. And it's one of our, obviously our famous segments. We should probably see what's going on with the Wink. That's right. We have moved into the Wink corner. That is right. This is, of course, the segment of the program where we discuss Henry Winkler. I believe Emily's frozen because she's not blinking, which is terrifying. But, you know, we'll move forward. This is the program where we update you about Henry Winkler. And we talk about Henry Winkler. Emily, still frozen. Still frozen in a different position. Still frozen. Moving up, and she's back. We'll see what happens. Emily, are you there? All right. You know what? For right now, we've got a little bit of updates on the Wink, so we can talk about the Wink a little bit. So first things, you may be asking yourself, what is Henry Winkler been up to in the quarantine? How's he faring in isolation? And we put together a little bit of information about it. Right. That's right. You got to channel that inner Wink. You got to. If there's anything we can all take away from this, it's we want to channel our inner Wink.
We're all in it together, and Henry's no different.
He's no different. I like that we referred to shirts as tops for a man. Just he's wearing two tops. Just wearing
two tops, but he's wearing like two button-down shirts.
He's wearing several blouses is what he's doing. But the Wink Corner, Emily, we're here in the Wink Corner. Couple of things to talk about. Of course, he is tweeting up a storm because that's what he does. Tweets up a storm. And I gotta say, he doesn't have a lot of uplifting tweets these days because honestly, there's not a lot of uplifting things happening. So there's a lot of this, which I love that he was talking about. Our health as a nation needs science, period. I love that. Maybe
And
not.
I think he's like our nation needs science, and then he's like, period. I think he also thinks that we need menstrual cycles.
Well, don't we? I mean, he's right.
I don't need mine.
Neither do I. But you know what? People and places do, and that's something. But he's also keeping up on all sorts of discourse. John Levitt tweeted, "I'm stubborn and I'll always believe New York pizza is the greatest pizza we produce as Americans, but in time I've also come to see another truth, which is that Pepe's rules." And Henry Winkler retweeted that and wrote, "Pepe's clam and cheese." I have since learned that Pepe's is a pizza place in Connecticut.
It's in New Haven.
But yes, and it's famous for clam pizza.
I heard about this.
From the Wink.
John Lovett?
The podcaster. I think he's talking about the podcaster.
Oh. Isn't there another John Lovett?
Yeah. This happens quite often, but I think he's talking about the very liberal podcaster. But so the Wink is eating clam pizza. He's wearing two tops at once. And I'll tell you what, guys, he's being pretty supportive of his friends. Doing another virtual show. Who's going to watch? He retweeted and just wrote. And you know what? I can say that's a lot more than you jerks out there. Okay. No one's saying they're going to watch except my mother occasionally, you know, but that's real nice.
I just like that. It's also, there's no fanfare with what he says either. He just goes, me. That's it. Not saying you guys should watch, nothing like that. Me. Not like, I'm so excited for this or really looking forward to it. Just me.
So I appreciated that about him. I appreciated all of that. But that's what's going on with the Wink, I gotta say. You know, that's pretty much the big update. He's home. He's wearing a couple of blouses. He's got a beard, and he's tweeting up a storm about democracy and what we should be doing in this nation. And for that, I give it up to Henry Winkler.
I love it so much, and I would like to say that the reason that the whole Wink sensation really kind of started with us is I think it's because we had been talking about older men that we find to be attractive. Yeah. And Henry Winkler is one of those people that's just like, he's just so sweet and wonderful and kind. But Amanda, I meant to bring this up during the catch up. I have been rewatching The Sopranos.
Yes. Oh?
And I got to tell you.
Oh?
The pilot episode starts, season 1, ep 1 pilot.
He's in the pool.
Well, he walks into his first appointment with Dr. Malfi. And holy crap, holy, did my mother and I not say at the same time, excuse me, James Gandolfini. He
Apology accepted.
Sexier than a Channing Tatum.
What I said months ago, and you were like, gross. No, not Tony Soprano. No.
I'd also like to follow it up by saying that, like, by episode 2, he looks disgusting.
Okay, all right, we'll forget that. But you and I also found a new one because I've been catching up on episodes of Better Call Saul. And you and I texted, new one to the group, add him in. Bob Odenkirk is now a member of the club. So, you know.
You think that Bob Odenkirk is terribly old, though? Like,
he's terribly old, but he's not a young man.
Michael McKean, though.
A wonderful actor and a hilarious man.
Not a handsome,
and not on our list. But look, Emily, we're getting out of the Wink corner, all right? We're moving out of the Wink corner because you got to make room. Is what we're doing.
I'm sorry, but I have to do this too now, though. I don't want it anymore.
Wow, that was quite
slowing him down. Adam said in the comments, he's like, Emily's green screen's slowing her down.
A chatting tandem.
Gosh, I look so much better.
You do. But I really liked that reveal. That was really fun. I'm glad you didn't like duck out of camera. I'm glad you didn't remove yourself. I'm glad you did that fully here because that's what's important. That's those sorts of things. A reveal, says Javier. A reveal.
Oh, Javier Ortega. He's big fan. He's one of our biggest fans, just so you know.
Oh, does he fall asleep to our podcast anyway? Well, the fact is, we're 30 minutes into this program. We had our one guest. We had on Eskamani. Incredible, amazing. But you know what, Emily?
What?
We've got another amazing guest.
I can't handle it.
We've got fans in the comments clamoring already, asking, where is she? Where is she? Thought she was going to be here. It's the only reason I tuned in. Their podcast makes me sleepy. All of those things are happening. They're asking why she's here. Ladies and gentlemen, comedian, internet sensation, hilarious, beautiful, gorgeous woman. Please give it up for Blaire Erskine.
Ah!
Wow.
Oh!
You have the same I didn't practice. I haven't practiced kissing in a while.
I haven't practiced kissing.
Did you guys used to practice kissing like on your hands and like watch in the mirror to see how you looked when you kissed, so that if a camera were on you when it happened?
What if a camera was on?
I was preparing for something that's never going to happen for me.
Wow.
Well, I actually had a kiss fest with a guy named Danny Dunn when I was 10 years old, and somebody took a picture of it, and I used to keep it in my bedroom.
Where is it now?
Yeah.
I had a flood in Boston like 10 years ago.
Danny Dunn.
Danny Dunn.
Danny Dunn. He's a big one on this program. Thank you so much for being here. We're so happy coming all the way from Atlanta.
Coming all the way from Atlanta. Thank you for having me. I love you guys so much.
We love you. So, Blaire, we first met at the Atlanta Improv Festival a bunch of years ago.
Yeah, like 2016.
Yeah, something like that. The last time I saw you, I believe, was in 2018 at the festival.
Mm-hmm.
You were standing next to each other at the bar, and you said, Amanda, and I turned, and there you were, looking gorgeous as the day is long. She had some auburn-colored dress on, and I was like, I'm sorry. I'm in like a flannel. I've like sweated my makeup off, and she walks in looking like she's like walked off like a commercial photo shoot. So that's what I remember, and that's what my self-esteem remembers standing next to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So,
You saw me earlier though. I'm wearing. I mean, this pandemic has changed everything for me.
everything.
Everything. I mean, it's just like I wear this black shirt and then just various sweatpants below, and then sometimes makeup. But yeah, you guys loaded me up with swag that day that I still have.
You know,
you were like, I was like, I love you guys. Yeah, I've loved you guys, and you were like, I just saw out of your pockets.
I was just gonna say, I mean, you do love us, but like, I think like, yeah,
My fiance, he's watching in the living room right now.
I think there's someone else who loves us a little bit more. So
He loves you a lot. I
shout
could be jealous.
Does he fall asleep to our podcast?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't fall. He sleeps like dead quiet, like a corpse.
Oh,
Just like on his back like this with earplugs in.
wow, that's romantic. That's really
To die. Yeah.
you had commented once on something. This is how sick I am. If somebody mentions something about a habit that I have, I'm like hyper focused on it. And somebody mentioned that I say something very consistently, and you messaged us to say that Yev confirmed that I do.
Yeah. I think it was like, really?
I think it is.
Was it really? Yeah. We were in Hawaii. He was like, oh, she does say that a lot.
Excuse me. I think it was excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
He
And
does.
he was like, yes.
I'm glad he could confirm. Emily, your boyfriend said, I had a friend when I was little secretly make out with a Statue of Liberty head, and he didn't realize it made his lips move. So Blaire, I guess you're not alone.
I'm not alone. No, do not group me in with Adam, with Emily and Adam.
What? Do not group me in.
What material was the Statue of Liberty head?
It really sounds like paint, like lead paint. Unclear. That's not. I will say when I was little, very very little, like diaper age, my mom would give me this little Minnie Mouse figurine, a glass figurine. And now we have it. The paint on the toes on her heels is sucked right off. So to keep me calm, I guess, while I was getting my diaper changed, my mother was like, "Here, suckle on the lead paint."
Oh my God.
I'm a child of the 80s, and that's what we did. We did what worked, you know? That's how you reared children.
Or whatever she'll suck on.
Yeah.
That's
Blaire, you did say that you've been primarily since the pandemic, you've been wearing like sweatpants and stuff, but
yes.
Can you give me a timeline, and forgive me for not knowing the timeline necessarily, but you really had a big blow up.
You're blowing up, Blaire.
I'm like, it's crazy, but I worked, like, I keep putting stuff out there hoping it'll happen. So I don't know. I'm like, I don't know how it happened. It was July, the beginning of July. And that Costco guy video in Florida, where you guys are currently, the Dan Maples, I pretended to be his wife and no one knew who I was. And so I could have been his wife. And they got really mad about it. But some people didn't get mad about it. I had a couple people message me on Facebook, like, hey, I heard he's out of a job. Your husband needs a job. Like, and they gave me like their insurance company addresses and stuff like that, which was insane.
Wow.
But for the most part, people wanted me to die.
Cool.
And were you getting really weird? Were you getting harassing messages?
I was getting like death. I always say death wishes. Like, they weren't threats. They were just like, I hope that you do die. Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, but I hope that it does happen.
Exactly. They're like lazy about it, but they wouldn't be sad if it happened. And I appreciated that.
So for those of you that haven't seen this before, so Blaire, you do a couple specific types of video. In theory, it's a lot of front facing.
Mm-hmm.
You really just characters, mostly Southern women, is usually who they are. I have an example, just a brief example for anyone who has never seen this before. This is
show it.
Is that okay?
No, that's totally no. I was like, no.
Don't do it.
What if she did? Good to know before you come on, Blaire.
What's next? Okay.
Show them.
This is just an example.
Listen, I wore my mask for 3 months and I never got COVID. So why was I wearing it? I identify as a fresh air breather, okay? My gender is taxpayer and my pronouns are confusing. I don't know what those are. No, I got 3 kids, okay? I got Chevy Cavalier, Sticky Ricky, and Trickle Down Reaganomics.
I'm coming back.
I was looking for something.
Left. So that's just one example. You've played a lot of people's wives. You've played daughters. And a lot of that sort of stuff. And it's really caught on. One of the things that I've noticed about the comments on your Twitter is that it always happens where someone, at least one person, usually a handful, thinks you're real.
Yeah. Unless people are like, at the jump, they're like, satire, it's satire, which, well, they can do what they want, but that kind of ruins it a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. In the comments, they like defend you and they're like, she's a comedian, look her up.
Oh, God.
What are you, a dummy? We've known about her since
Democrats. Yeah, it's that's something. I mean, there's like a limited amount of time I can do this stuff. I mean, maybe not. That sounded like I'm gonna blow up. I'm not, but like
you already have.
You have
on Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
More than on Twitter.
Okay.
More than on Twitter.
My life hasn't changed.
Oh, well, here's something. Oh, I don't know. You were mentioned by the New York Times, Blaire. The New York Times. They said that new viral stars emerging seemingly every day. My current favorite is the prolific Blaire Erskine, an Atlanta comic who has a knack for poking fun at the big story of the day through fictional characters in the background, like the wife of the head of QAnon or the daughter of Jerry Falwell.
Prolific just means that I make a lot of them.
Yeah.
Anything else to do.
The New York Times. She's like, forget it. I'm not blowing up. Forget it. What's going on? No, Blaire, that's so unbelievable. You've been doing stand-up for a long time. You've been, I know you did improv, which is something you do not do anymore.
Don't do that anymore.
No, not
behind. I was not good at it. And I don't think I was good at it. No.
That's not true.
You didn't see me. I was really bad.
I can tell.
I'm comfortable saying I was bad. I mean, maybe
I've seen enough bad improv to know that you weren't bad. You may have been maybe you weren't taking it away.
I was sure not taking it away. Sure not. But
where were you going? What were you trying to get when you left the screen? What were you going to get that was so important?
Okay, so Amanda talked about sucking the feet off her Minnie Mouse. And I have these cats my mom gave me that looked like they were, a friend described it as like, they're cat figurines that looked like they were burned in a fire that they started. And I put them in a drawer somewhere because they're cursed. She got them at like a church sale. Like, nobody that they're not in our family. She gave them to me months ago, recently. And I was trying to find them.
Okay.
Blaire, themselves.
Blaire, that's enough.
She was like, well, this is something I got recently.
Armando.
So besides getting mentioned in the New York Times, getting cat figurines as gifts, have you had any like very insane moments that you were like, what's happening here? I know, for example, everyone may know her as the mother of Rose in Titanic is like a huge fan of Blaire and like Francis, and like reaches out and like retweets and like tweets with you, and so you guys are pals. Is there anything that has happened in the past recent months that you're like, oh, holy crap, things are a little weird, besides being in the New York Times?
Yeah, a lot. I keep forgetting them because something else happens, or I mean, I still have a day job, and so I'm like, I have to like work at my day job, and then my brain just forgets. But I mean, it's mainly just getting to meet people like Chris Maloney, Stabler from SVU.
I know,
really cool. He should be. I mean, he's not old, but
he's just on the sexy list.
Wait, he's not on the sexy list?
No, he is.
I don't know what your age requirements are.
He's on the sexy list. And
okay.
I think Merloni is a bit older now. I mean, no offense to him, but
he's watching.
Is he?
I don't know. He could be. That's the beauty of it. You don't know who's looking at you at any given time. So yeah, that was cool. I got a manager recently, and that was cool. And meetings and stuff. I don't know. Like everything's happening so fast. Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it too much. I'll get my hopes up.
Didn't Malcolm Gladwell say like?
Yes, that's another one. I can't even say the name, or like my heart starts beating really fast. But Malcolm Gladwell. He said myself and Brent Terhune, my friend, were the only reasons he was on Twitter still, and I don't think he meant that. But
he said it.
You heard it first. Malcolm Gladwell is a liar.
He's also probably watching. Well, Blaire, it's so well deserved. You're ridiculously funny, and the stuff like famously an Eminem. He is. He loves us. He's a big fan of Eminem for sure.
I had never seen Eminem put together like that, and I was like, I thought it was something bad.
I thought it was something bad.
Like a bad thing. Okay.
I'm a fan of the show, and Eminem is the way it is.
Cancel someone if I have to.
Yes. But Blaire, you totally deserve it. You have like managed to capture the cultural zeitgeist right now, and you absolutely deserve it. So we're just so ridiculously psyched to have you on, because in like a week you're gonna forget we ever existed. Chris Merloni, 59.
Bible verse, my favorite Bible verse.
He's not 59. You think? No.
That's my brother Luke. He probably did a search.
Probably did a Google. Well, look, Blaire, in thinking about, you're making out with your hand and that sort of stuff, there's a segment that we do on this, on our program, that we think that you would just be perfect to join us for. Would you mind? We're going to open up the door and we're going to head inside the teen scene. Would you like to join us?
I'm ready. Yes.
Let's do it. To win it, we are in the teen scene. Welcome, Blaire. We're happy to have you.
I need to do this live before. I'm excited.
It's exciting. It's exciting. Mm-hmm. So look, the teen scene, just like the Wink Corner, the teen scene is a place where we settle in and we really just get with the teens.
Yeah.
We get down on their level. We understand them. And we really just get cozy and comfortable and relate. So teens out there watching on your TikToks, you're watching on your
limited time to do that on TikTok.
Yeah, it is nice.
Not for much longer though. So everybody get all your TikToks in.
Because it's definitely normal and cool that a president's doing that and getting involved in that. Anyway, so the fact is that the teen scene, we like to do a couple of different things. Sometimes we take quizzes. Sometimes we, take stories from teens. We dish out advice. So today I was looking for some stories from the old teen scene. I was looking for those embarrassing stories. Every girl teen magazine had a section. 17, it was called Trauma-Rama. YM magazine. I don't know if anybody recalls the 90s magazine YM that had cute boys on the cover.
Yes.
You guys know what the YM stood for?
No. Young Miss.
Young Miss. The answer is Young Miss. Not at all condescending. Young miss. Excuse me, young miss. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah,
Why did they?
Yeah.
Why
and so that theirs was called Say Anything.
Oh.
But when I was doing a Google today, that's my dog. When I was doing a Google today, I found one from 1964.
Oh.
Now, I don't necessarily want to go through it all. It was from a magazine called Calling All Girls. Okay. The magazine was called, and their Say Anything, their Trauma Rama back in 1964 was called Was My Face Red? So before we get into today's horrors, I wanted to discuss the 1964, a couple of theirs, about what qualified for Was My Face Red back in 1964. So let's see. This one is, here we go. One afternoon, my mother and I went shopping. When we finally found a parking place, I offered to put money in the meter. Was my face red when I found out I had put the dime in the wrong meter?
What a stupid idiot! What a dumb idiot!
Absolutely humiliating.
Oh my God.
I
So
mean,
effectively paid for someone else's parking.
it's humiliating.
How do you bounce back from that?
I don't know. I mean,
You don't. I would never.
no.
Oh my gosh. My face would be so red standing there like a stupid idiot. The meter.
Spent the rest of her life at that meter. Her ghost haunts that meter today.
Every time her and her husband pull up to a meter, she's like, you take care of it.
I couldn't. Honey, I couldn't. And he's like, I know, dear. 1964 was your face red. He really knows. He really knows. Okay, here we go. A few months ago, our orchestra put on a concert for our parents. When the
Our orchestra.
Like their family's orchestra.
orchestra, definitely coming from money here. When the conductor was ready to start, I discovered my charm bracelet was caught in the violin string. Was my face red when the conductor told the audience she had to hold up the beginning of a concert until I untangled the bracelet?
Did she have to? Did she give them the reason why? Why did she do?
I mean, Blaire, what would you do in such a situation?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if I would. I feel like I would be like, there's been an emergency. Something terrible has happened.
Look, Blaire, put yourself in the situation. We're performing in our orchestra for our parents. Okay,
And the orchestra is made of our family members as well.
yes, and your fancy charms, all the charms you wear constantly, they just got caught. Just imagine.
This is what I would do, right? So we're all getting ready. There's sound. Everyone's getting ready, and everyone's getting ready to play. And I noticed that my charm is caught on the violin string. This is what I would do. I would go, my charm! My charm's caught on my violin string!
But imagine our parents' reaction.
My parents don't come to my performances.
No, they're not. They're not coming. And as Adam pointed out, what a relatable violin mishap. I agree. I couldn't agree more. Calling all girls.
The proper lady knows you remove your charms prior to orchestrating.
Really, it seems dangerous. It seems like it would break the string too on the. It did, didn't it? Did it break the string? Did it? Is that information in the?
It got caught.
It got caught.
Yeah.
I need more information.
Yeah.
I should have broken the string.
This whole magazine seems to be for very rich people. The last one I'll give you, this is from Nancy. Nancy says, I had eaten clams and lobster in a restaurant.
Clam heavy show. Why are there so many clams on this show?
Clams and lobster. What's happening here? One or the other, Nancy. You can't, it's too much shellfish. Here we go. After dinner, the waiter brought around some bowls filled with water. I thought it was something to drink, so I grabbed it and drank all the water. Was my face red when I found out they were finger bowls and you were supposed to wash your fingers in them?
What? Oh, okay. I thought she was going to be like, was my face red when I found out I am allergic to shellfish?
In today's world, in the ones that we read today, it would have been like, I ate lobster and clams, and then I was allergic and I had diarrhea all over the restaurant. Like that's what makes today's cut.
I was going to say that the lady had like gone through painstaking measures to order things that had no shellfish throughout the whole meal. And then the server came over with a bowl filled with shellfish remnants. And the lady,
No.
And then
she saw it and she was still just like, I guess I gotta eat it.
I got it.
And it's right
had no reaction. And she's like, turns out I'm not allergic after all.
Was my face red?
My face red when I told everyone I had a deadly allergy to clams and lobster, and then they gave me some, and then turns out I didn't.
Gabrielle says, "Bring back finger bowls." Maybe she's right.
Not right now. Surely not right now.
Yeah, surely not during.
Wait a couple of years.
I mean, maybe we can encourage people to wash their hands.
Maybe we should be doing finger bowls.
Elizabeth, what's her face right now?
What is this?
The crazy the blood lady, she wears a turtleneck, the blonde. You know what I'm talking about. What's her name?
What is her name? Elizabeth?
Elizabeth.
No, the one.
Wilson.
The crazy lady that does what?
Yeah,
She was a few drops of like blood testing. It was some sort of.
Oh, she's the blonde woman that she duped everybody and got their blood samples. And
someone in the comments tell us her name.
Who is she?
What is her name? It's not Elizabeth. And everyone was like, she's incredible. Nobody at all checked her credentials. Sounds good. And then went through and existed. It was something that really happened. Amy, Elizabeth, Ashley. It's something. It's a very girly 90s.
Where are you now, Luke Fontano, with your fact finding?
Yeah, with Christopher, 59 years old. Anyway, okay. So that was from Calling All Girls. 1960.
Oh, I have one more Calling All Girls.
Please.
Right.
Okay. I was at a cocktail party. I was at a cocktail party.
I mean, you're reading a notebook.
What's that?
You're reading one of your own notebooks?
It's a magazine.
Okay, got it. Glad you have it.
Okay, let me read it from it now.
Mhm.
I was at a cocktail party and I had my white gloves on, and then I coughed and I got ickies on my glove.
Ickies on your glove.
Boy, was my face.
Wow. Yeah, Blaire, we actually sent you a copy as well. Do you want to read one? You just want to read.
I was at. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This thing is massive.
It is.
Was my face. My face is red now. I see myself in the camera and I see that it is red. And I think it's my ring light. I'm gonna make myself I was at a restaurant too when Emily was there, and I also am reading from something. I did get a notebook because I knew you guys were gonna pull some like this. So I got a notebook here to pretend like I'm reading from a magazine.
Okay, you're really giving away the goods.
Right, really good.
Yeah. Sorry. See this? I told you I wasn't good at improv.
I'm realizing.
You're great.
I saw Emily do that shit, and boy, was my face red when she did it. And thank you.
Oh,
And thank you.
oh wow! Oh boy!
Yeah. Mhm.
Boy, that's called secondary face redness. That's what that is. Secondary
I
face.
can confirm it was embarrassing for her to get the ickies on the gloves.
Look, this is out of the teen scene, but someone commented. They said, "Just realized Blaire looks like Anne Margaret. Hi from London."
Hey, that was a record label. Sign me.
Do you know that person?
No, that's not a person. That's an organization. That's a
An
company.
organization.
You don't know that. That could also just be a girl who's made a Facebook that.
Rose and records. LaBelle.
Mhm.
I mean, Amanda and I have an account, and we're not, you know.
Anybody can have an account on Facebook.
Yeah, you know.
That's the thing we have to keep in mind.
So here's as we are kind of moving towards the end, I want to do an updated little bit of a version of our Say Anything from YM while we're still in the teen scene. Now we're definitely moving in to the current times. I had my period at school. And when the bell rang for lunch, I rushed to the bathroom to change my pad. It was really packed in there, but I managed to grab a stall. I was trying to be quick because of a bunch of really popular girls were hanging out in the waiting room area. The waiting area. To use the toilet. But I guess I was hurrying a little too much because while I was trying to wrap up the used pad, I dropped it and kicked it under the stall door. I heard a girl yell, ew.
Also, when you said the line, it was really packed in there. I didn't realize he was talking about the bathroom, and I was like, "What?"
It was really packed in there. Ew.
Visceral reaction to that. Oh God.
Amanda, have you seen the development in the comments?
Excuse me.
Have
Yes, I am seeing it. I will get to it. That is a 4-star trauma. Say anything, which means utter and total embarrassment. That means
leave.
I love though that it's a girl's bathroom. I'm assuming, I mean, they went into the ladies' room, and that okay, so she accidentally drops the pad, and I love that another person's like, "Ew!" It's like,
I don't get that. Everybody knows the bathroom. It's like that's a period palace. That's where we go for period stuff.
Yeah, period. Everyone knows it's the period palace.
Blaire, do you have any specific? Emily and I have shared pretty much all of our disgusting or sad or embarrassing teen stories. Do you have any embarrassing teen stories you wanted to add to the teen scene? We don't want to put you on the spot.
Embarrassing teen stories,
or something that when you think about when you were a teen.
I mean, the thing that haunted me for the longest time isn't even a thing anymore. But one time, someone at my church group stopped at Cece's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever been to Cece's?
It's like a buffet pizza, right?
Yeah, they had that macaroni and cheese pizza. And I would look at it. I would just look at it. But a girl from my church group just pulled my chair out when I went to sit down, and I fell. And when that happens to you, I mean, it shaped my whole life, really.
Oh.
Yeah. You can break your tailbone. It's not funny. And that girl is a jerk.
She has a baby now.
Congratulations.
Even a bigger jerk then. Thank you. Confirmed.
Great job.
I was such a boring, I still am. I mean, I didn't do anything that I could possibly embarrass me. So.
Well, I mean, Emily threw up on herself on the first day of school. So you know what? Things happen.
Quick.
I was in the magnet program, and I threw up on myself and had my period on myself.
Ew.
Was it crammed up in there?
It was really packed up there.
It was really crammed.
Something about the word packed.
I don't packed. Packed is what it was. I don't like it. All right, we are exiting out of the teen scene. We're moving on. We gotta get to the end of our show. Blaire, anything to plug? Thank you for being here. First of all, gonna throw your Twitter up on there as we just.
Don't be weird though.
Don't be weird. What weird stuff you getting in your comments, Blaire?
Well, I get messages just like, hey, hi, and I usually don't respond because I've got a job that I do during the day. And this man said hi to me, and I didn't answer, and then he said howdy ho, and I entertained that because I like that he jumped to howdy ho after hi, and then today he said a yeehaw. And so I'm just seeing where things go with him.
Wow, good luck.
Thank you.
Where things go.
Where things go with him. Other than that, no, nothing super exciting in my DMs.
You're getting married soon?
Yes, I am.
That's
29 days.
That's amazing.
29 days. It's come up fast. Yeah, we got married. No, I don't know what's happening this year. We got engaged on the 26th of January, and then just everything went to shit after that.
Yeah.
So
you know what? You might as well find a highlight in the year and find something good.
And I want you to know that even though I did say that I was annoyed by people that have kids, if you and Yev have a kid, I won't be annoyed.
Okay, because that was the one thing keeping us back.
Yeah.
People's opinion.
You can
having those neurotic good. They need us.
To circle back, Chrissy wanted to make sure we knew. To clarify the falling asleep to your show, I could not sleep one night. I can't fall asleep on the TV due to bright light, but I can fall asleep to people talking. Went to the podcast app, searched random people talking, literally no joke, and your show popped up. So I listened and fell asleep and always do now within 14 minutes. I began listening 2 years ago, haven't missed an episode. Chrissy!
Random people talking?
People.
Not even friends.
Talking. Just that. What a way to find us. And honestly, maybe the best way.
Well, first of all, she says random people talking.
Random. She didn't want it to be
people or celebrity or anything. She's like, oh, I got my mother again. She's her podcast that wants to be random. It's got to be random.
You're the first one to pop up. Wow.
I mean,
that's a brand.
Thank you. We were
That
really
is a brand. We should be marketing ourselves a little bit more like that, Amanda. We should be saying, Amanda and Emily, random people talking.
Random people talking. If you can't sleep, we'll do it. So,
yes.
You know?
Just a shrug at the end.
And then we just go. And then it's like that for like 12 seconds. It's just.
How cold can you get?
Also, look at Blaire's beautiful skin tone, and we're just like pale, gross.
I swear, look, no, if I adjust my ring light though, look what can happen to my skin.
No. I don't believe you.
It's
Exact same.
Wow,
it's
nothing
a little
happened.
different now. No, it's a little different. It's a little bit.
You're still glowing, and you're a gorgeous human being. You can find Blaire and her absolutely hilarious videos that are topical and wonderful and skewering exactly the right things right now. And the fact that a bunch of people can't figure out whether they're satire or not is just a continuous delight daily. So Blaire, thank you for doing all of that. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you for having me. I want to come back.
Yeah.
Fun.
When we are recording podcasts again, we'll do that. We'll get you on a podcast, and yeah, we're so happy that this is happening for you because you deserve it, pal. You're hilarious and adorable, and we love you.
You both are. I love you guys too.
Love you.
Love
Blaire.
Love.
Oh, yeah, hi. Oh.
Give you a big hug for us. Give them all our merch. So Emily, that brings us to the end of our program.
I don't want it and I don't need it and I don't care who shouldn't eat it and I don't know and I don't. I wanted to see how long I could go, but I couldn't go much farther.
Not that long. Not that long is what that was.
Nope.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting and being part of our show. It's always so fun. Javier, so sweet. Ladies, thank you for doing this. You made me belly laugh so much. Be proud tonight. You are a light during these crazy times. Javier, you son of a gun.
And also very important.
That's right. That is a very important. Chrissy really coming in with the meaningful words at the end.
Wow. Don't forget,
But thank you all for being here. And we hope that you are staying safe out there, masking up, washing your hands, and don't forget to go vote. It is the year, kids. Go out there and vote. Emily, where can they find us?
They can find us on Facebook. Our names, Amanda and Emily. We have a podcast. You can find us on the Instagram. It's Amanda_Emily_show. You can find us on Twitter, which is Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem Show. And yeah, we are still figuring out how to podcast and all of this because you and I both have crazy schedules, but we will eventually be back. We miss each other too much and we miss doing the show. So stay tuned for all of that and hopefully we'll be releasing one soon.
And I guess that's everything that we have to say. So love you, mean it. Bye.
That was Amanda and Emily. It was a show about nothing at all.